Above the orbit of the planet, the first Battle Fleet Gothic battle report is about to begin. The Space Marines are about to encounter the Raiders of the Dark City in the deep depths of cold 40k space. Let's begin. A special detachment of the Nova Marines Space Marine chapter had sent 2 strike cruisers to quell unrest on an Imperial settlement that supplied vital resources to the Imperium. While stationed in lower orbit around the planet, of course, Space Marine escorts provided special information of the surrounding area. Little to their knowledge, the Dark Eldar were waiting in nearby gas clouds, ready to attack the Imperial world and try and take prisoners to the Dark City. The Dark Eldar gave chase to the escort ships, and we find ourselves, as the battle commences, with the Space Marines acting as bait for the Dark Eldar to then face the main force of the Space Marine army. Welcome to the first Battlefleet Gothic battle report. We have 550 points of Dark Eldar versus 550 points of Space Marines. So, in this mission, the bait, we have one ship or a squadron of ships in the middle of the table. Of course, we set terrain. That's a large planet with a moon, lots of asteroid fields, some gas clouds. That is a sunward planet, the sunward edge, because the sun is that way. Comes into play sometimes. We also have a Dark Eldar fleet. We have a squadron of escorts, which are armed with phantom lances. They are the squadron Vengeance. We have a Torture class cruiser that is armed with the gun batteries and some launch base. So it's a carrier ship, and it is named the Mist Stalker. And then we have the Pain Bringers, which are 3 Dark Eldar escorts with Slave Bringer assault boats, which are a special kind of ship, which is kind of cool. Then we have a couple of lance-armed escorts and a small missile-armed escort, creating a squadron. And then, of course, in reserve, we have 2 strike cruisers. We have the flagship of the Nova Marine Force, and we have their secondary ship. And then a unit of hunters, which are little ships with torpedoes. So, the Space Marines do get to go first. The escorts are going to attempt to all ahead full.
They are leadership 7. Nope, they do not succeed.
They do not succeed. In Battlefleet Gothic, all movement is in centimeters, and all measurements for movement are measured from the stem of the ship on the flying base. And with that, the first Space Marine turn ends. Orders for the Dark Eldar. The Mist Stalker will attempt to all ahead full on leadership 9, and he succeeds with a 7. So he will all ahead full, adding 4d6 centimeters to his movement of 35. Adding 10, 11, 16 centimeters, so that'd be 45, 51 centimeters movement. And he can't turn, he can only advance that far. The squadron of Impaler, the Pain Bringers, will attempt to all ahead full as well. And they do. And they will attempt to go an additional 10, 18, so that brings their movement up to 58 centimeters. 58. Yay! Hooray! This guy's going to go through an asteroid field, so he must take a leadership test or suffer damage, and he passes. Navigating the asteroid field like a true Eldar. And 58 for him. Okay. Awesome. And the last squadron Vengeance will attempt to all ahead full as well. With leadership, they pass on leadership 9, adding an additional 8, 10, 13, bringing their total to 53 centimeters. So he's just going to be sitting in the asteroid field. You can make spaceship sounds while this happens. It's really worth it. Leadership test for the squadron to go through the asteroid field, and he passes successfully. So now we're moving into the shooting phase. Because my army went all ahead full, they are at half strength for firepower. I have launched 2 impalers from the escorts. These will move later in the turn, and I have 1 gun battery firing into this lance escort. So I need to roll 1 dice after consulting the gunnery chart, and roll a 5+ to score a hit.
I will brace for impact.
He will brace for impact. Well, roll to see.
I'll attempt to brace for
You will
impact.
attempt to brace.
Where's my dice go?
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
No problem.
I won't.
And he doesn't. They do not brace, and then I didn't hit. So that doesn't matter. So now we're moving on to the ordnance phase, where because it's my turn, I get to move ordnance first. Now move this impaler 30 centimeters to try and do some damage on the frigate. Right. So he has a turret on a 6. He shoots me down as I try and impale into the escort, and he doesn't. So the escort needs to roll on a 2+. It scores a critical hit, and it does. So a critical hit automatically destroys an escort. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a special rule clause called slave taking for the Dark Eldar, meaning I get 30 victory points and the escort is destroyed. So the escort disappears, and so does the impaler, going back full of slaves to its ship. I didn't think so either. So 1 blast token, and this guy here is just gonna move up this way. Actually, no, move up this way. Little impaler. Okay, and with that, first blood is given to the Dark Eldar, and it's Space Marine turn 2. Reserves. The 3 hunters and the 1 strike cruiser arrive. Because he didn't bring them on till turn 2, they get to be placed up to 30 centimeters up from his short table edge, and they're starting to engage the Dark Eldar while the capital ship stays hidden, the flagship of the Nova Marine fleet, ready to come in later in the game gloriously. So moving on to the orders phase. All Space Marine vessels have +1 to their leadership for orders, because the Dark Eldar ships are on special orders, allowing them to coordinate their defense better. The bait is going to try to come to new heading. The captain's bellowing orders into their crew, trying to get them to turn twice in the phase, and they don't.
That's twice.
Which also means that the rest of the fleet is scrambled and disallows special orders for the rest of the fleet. This is horrible, as the confusion reigns within the Space Marine ships. Now they're moving on to movement.
So he will move 25, do a 90-degree turn And then move another 10. We'll do the exact same thing. 25, 90-degree turn. And move 10. Okay, they're within. Okay, the hunters, they'll go ahead 35 centimeters. Just maintaining so they're touching. And then the strike cruiser can only go 25 centimeters, so he will go 25 centimeters.
Strike cruisers of Space Marines are slow lumbering vessels, but they have firepower to level entire planets. In the ordnance phase and shooting phase, the hunters are shooting a volley of torpedoes towards the Dark Eldar fleet, and the strike cruiser has launched 2 Thunderhawk fighters, which are like fighters and assault boats and bombers all in one. They're like crazy good. And now it's the ordnance phase. It's his turn, so he gets to move his ordnance first.
So, torpedoes.
They move 30 centimeters. And because he fired all hunters together, it's a big volley of torpedoes coming my way. But I at least have a turn to get out of the way before they get into my midst.
And the Thunderhawks.
Thunderhawks move 20 centimeters, which is relatively low, but they are quite dangerous against the escorts. Cool. So 30... man, I can't get to your strike cruiser. So the Impaler. Click! So Evan needs to try and roll his turrets to see if he blows it out of the sky. And he doesn't. And I roll to see if they capture lots of prisoners. They do. So I'm going to take the extra points and destroy the escort as they take prisoners back. And blast markers left where the vessel once used to be. And that's that.
Oh my.
Dark Eldar start their second turn by trying to go on special orders. The Painbringer Squadron is going to attempt to come to new heading. And they do with a leadership of 8. Thank goodness. So, they're going to do a 90-degree turn. Sorry. And then they're going to move. Well, you can't actually hit them while they're in the asteroid field. So, they're going to... yeah, they're going to take a leadership test to try and navigate the asteroid fields. And they don't, and they're going to try and re-roll that, and they are successful. So they are coming to new heading, which gives them a free movement turn. So they're going to... and then spin. Okay. They're going to be hiding in the asteroid field.
Chickens.
Like Dark Eldar wants to do. And this unit here will not go on any special orders. They will just roll, he will roll to see if he can get out of the asteroid field okay. And he can, because they are leadership 9. So...
Oh, where's my Nova cannon when I want it?
I know, right?
I need a battle barge. Oh my.
Battle barges are really good.
They're...
And then this cruiser will move here. Okay. And that is the end of the Dark Eldar movement phase. The ordnance phase, my cruiser here, my capital ship, has launched its squadrons of assault boats and is going to send them forth through the asteroid field. On a 6, they all die. No. So they move 20. Okay. And now the Space Marines get to move as well.
Torpedoes go 30.
Go straight forward. Detonate against the asteroid field. The Thunderhawks are going to launch themselves through the asteroid field and fight the assault boats.
And a 6.
And a 6, the squadron takes damage. They are okay. So the way this works is one squadron will take out one squadron will take out one squadron. And the Thunderhawks would then go back and rearm and refuel. But because they're Thunderhawks, they have a 4+ save against such attacks.
Okay.
Which means that I would lose my first wave of assault boats as the Thunderhawks take them down, shooting them. And then, let's see if they survive.
So 1 per squadron?
Yeah, so you'd roll 2 dice, 1 for each little square.
1.
So 1 has to go back and refuel and rearm. Space Marine, turn 3. The Nova Marine flagship finally makes an appearance, trying to envelop the Dark Eldar fleet, but decides to join the action as the Dark Eldar are now taking refuge in the asteroid field. The Space Marines are enraged at how unheroic and how without honor the Dark Eldar fight.
Lucky they are.
And now we're moving on to the Space Marine orders phase. Need to reload ordnance in order to...
So reload ordnance in order to fire missiles.
In order to reload their ordnance.
Yay!
And it succeeds!
Finally.
And the Thunderhawk bays would like to get reloaded as well.
Reload ordnance.
So the strike cruiser attempts to reload ordnance. And it does. Movement phase for the Space Marines. The Lone Hunter goes a-hunting.
20.
Can't turn again.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna go full out this. Full out then. Okay. These guys.
With reloaded torpedoes. Thank goodness I'm in the asteroid field. Mwahahaha.
Sneaky Dark Eldar.
Sneaky Eldar.
Okay, so that was 25. We'll go another 15. So we'll go there.
Well, the hunters are getting very close. You know, they can't shoot anything, but they're really looking forward to doing some damage later. Screening the strike cruisers that are going to do most of the damage.
There.
Sacrificing themselves dearly to stem the Dark Eldar assault. The flagship moves up to engage, bringing its broadside to bear, or its batteries to bear. And more Thunderhawks as well.
And the last guy, he's got to go. 25 right? 25. So.
The last strike cruiser with reloaded launch bays
So there.
attempts
Just
to continue to bring the guns to bear. In the shooting phase, the Space Marines try and scan the asteroids for the enemy fleet, but cannot see anything, so they cannot shoot. But they launch squadrons of Thunderhawks to try and take down the enemy ordnance as well. We're moving on to the ordnance phase, so we'll start with...
One squadron.
One squadron of Thunderhawks, trying to go through the asteroids and do some damage.
It's okay.
It is okay. It'll take out one of the squadrons, and does he return back to base? He does not. He stays in play.
Okay, so now these ones.
And I have one more squadron there.
So, okay, so there. Oh, you have one more.
Yeah, I have
so
one more squadron there. So he's going to go in as well.
Yep.
Okay, so he navigates the asteroid field, and he's okay.
Yep.
Does he return back to base to rearm and refuel? No, he doesn't. And last but not least, the other Thunderhawks engage.
So one needs to do a test for the asteroids. Nope, he's fine.
They're okay. Technically, they test as a group.
Squadron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you split them up.
I didn't. They're one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they're fine.
Okay. And with that, the Space Marines conclude their third turn. The Dark Eldar fleet will begin with some special orders. I'm going to try and reload ordnance with my capital ship. And it successfully reloads its fighter bays. That's this one, right?
That's lock on.
That's this one.
Yes.
The unit of Impalers will attempt to reload ordnance as well, getting the 2 Impalers back that they had expended before. And the Vengeance Squadron will attempt to lock on. And they don't. So, in the movement phase, they're going to try and navigate the asteroid field. And they do successfully. Yeah, I don't want to go through those boats of doom.
Excuse me. Sound effects make everything better.
They do. They make everything really fun. They're going to spin at the end of their movement. The squadron with the Impalers will attempt to also go forward, and they do as well. So, unless I want to go straight this way, they're going to go this. And they're going to... 20 centimeters. Okay. It's going to go this way. This way. And this one's going to go this way. Bloop. Okay. Oh, shoot. I should probably just move up that way. Yeah. Okay. And last but not least, the capital ship will attempt to navigate said asteroid field as well. And it does, successfully. Okay. So, in the shooting phase, we have the capital flagship firing on the capital flagship with its weapon batteries. The Space Marine commander will attempt to brace for impact, needing a leadership test. And he successfully braces for impact. So I have 8 shots, and I need 6s to score hits against the very well-armoured Space Marine strike cruisers. Scoring no hits with my capital ship. Now, the squadron that's left is this squadron here. I have 4 shots for firepower 4 within... One is within 15... Yeah, the squadron's within 15, and that guy is not within 15. So, one within 15, actually, they will shoot here. So I need firepower 2 within 15.
So one shot.
Ship.
One shot.
One shot. So 1 shot from him against the capital ship on 6s. Nope. And then an escort, closing escort within 15.
Firepower 2?
Mm-hmm. No, firepower 4.
4, 2.
2. So 2 shots against this hunter.
5s.
5s to hit. Will you brace?
I will not.
Okay, needing 5s. 1 hit.
Damn it.
Does it have a shield?
It does have a shield.
They do have shields?
One, yep.
Nice.
Hunters have 1 shield.
Okay, so 1 blast marker, as they have taken away its shields. What else? Then we have this unit firing into that braced strike cruiser. No, is there any point? They have to take a leadership test in order to shoot at anything else, so we'll see. Yeah, they will, but do I want to do it or not? Nah, they're going to shoot at that 1 ship. Okay, so they get 5 shots within 15, needing 6s to try down its shields. Ah, yes! Oh. So 1 hit brings down the shields, causing a blast marker. And 2 hits get into the armor, and he gets a 4+ brace for impact save. 1 gets through, doing 1 point of damage to the cruiser. And on a 6, it is a critical hit. It is a critical hit!
2d6.
What have they hit? 4.
Port armament damaged.
Their port armament, which is weapon batteries, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the left side.
The left weapon batteries are all getting blasted, even though they're shooting from the right-hand side. Yes!
Okay.
Okay, and I have 3 phantom lances firing at you.
Okay.
Needing 4s to hit, because lances always hit on a set value. And on a 5 or 6, I do 2 hits. It's like Tesla that way. So, 2 hits. And he tries to brace them. 1 gets through, and is it a critical hit? It is not. So they have done 2 points of damage on the strike cruiser. Now we're moving on to the ordnance phase. This Impaler attempting to hit the Lone Hunter. So the turret's firing into the Eldar strike vessel. And does it do damage? It does. Critically hitting it and blowing it out of proportion. Blam!
Blast marker.
Oh, that's right. Taking slaves back. Yay! 30 victory points extra.
Boo.
That's right. Good old slave boats. So, slave boat number 2 going against the main strike cruiser that braced for impact. Bloop. How many turrets does strike cruiser?
I believe it only has
Just
1. Nope, 2.
Oh, they do?
2.
Oh, sick. And they don't half turrets when they go on brace, right?
Nope.
It's the one thing that doesn't get half.
Yeah.
Okay, trying to knock the fight out of the sky. It doesn't.
Damn it.
So, will it hit critically? It does. And it does. I'm going to not take the victory points. I'm going to roll on the chart to see what I do to you, sir.
Okay.
So, the boarding party does a 6.
Engine room damaged.
Yes.
Plus 1 extra damage.
They go to the engine room and blow it up. No, that's just it goes down to 3.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's plus 1 extra damage.
Yeah, but it doesn't take a damage on the critical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a critical roll.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what that does. So it has now crippled the strike cruiser, halving all its values, meaning that the last Impaler will go in against 1 turret, not blowing it out of the sky. Does it hit? It does indeed. Doing 2d6. Critical hit for an 11.
Oh. Hull breach. Plus D3.
Oh, D3 damage. And what do they do?
So roll on the catastrophic damage table.
This is brutal. They have basically killed everyone on board.
Catastrophic damage table.
What? Oh, this is horrible. Look how clumped this is.
I'm okay with it.
Is it 2d6?
Yeah.
So now we roll on the catastrophic
I'm hoping for a
damage
12.
table.
I'm
Let's
hoping
see
for 12.
what happens. A 6.
That is drifting Hulk. So it produces an extra blast marker.
Okay.
The ship moves 4d6 centimeters forward in each of its subsequent movement phases. Place a blast marker in contact with its base after each move.
Okay. So, with a fit of glory, the Dark Eldar have taken slaves like nobody's business. We're moving on to... Oh no, now we have to do the other stuff. Okay.
Now the other stuff.
So, they're breaking apart the squadron, and they're sending 2 on 2. So, we'll just do... I guess we'll do, like... It's 1-on-1, I guess, first. So, we just see which survive. Because it's on 4+ if they survive. Because the Eldar fighters survive on 4s like Thunhawks. Both of mine do. One of the Thunhawks do as well. Bloop. I think they just stay there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just stay there. Cool. And then these guys are gonna do this here. Okay. 1 dies. Both die. With the battle joined in full, and at the end of the phase, How many blast markers get removed? The 2 that are not in base to base with anything. Moving on to Space Marine, turn 4. During the Ordnance phase, we also found out that Brace for Impact does help save against the hits by critical damage, which means that we randomized and it saved itself against the breach to its engine room, saving the strike cruiser with 1 structure point remaining. It is still alive, but it is very, very crippled. And repairing damage, the critical Brace for Impact ship is trying to repair the port weapon battery. And it does! All weapons are operational at half value. Space Marines turn 4, with the fleet in disarray. The strike cruiser tries to lock on. And it successfully does, meaning it will bring its full weapon batteries to bear.
Alright, movement. So, he will go...
You can't turn at all when you lock on.
Okay, I don't really need to. So he's going to go...
So he's -5, yeah.
Yeah, he's only going to go 10.
And the engine room is fixed. Yeah, he didn't have any damage on the engine room.
So he's locked on.
Cool.
And
technically, he's still braced till the end of your turn, which would
yes.
make sense if you like wanted to go in an asteroid field, or you wanted to like.
Okay, so he's still braced.
You get rammed, or you get like something in my ordnance phase that comes at you, you know, that sort of stuff.
So these guys,
the hunters are trying to get out of dodge, getting as far away from the combat as possible.
Because they're not gonna make it. They had to take word back to the chapter.
They do.
All right, so shooting.
Shooting phase. The crippled ship firing into the Impaler craft escorts. So I'm going to attempt to brace for impact. And so the locked-on capital ship will attempt to fire into both unit squadrons of escorts. They fail to brace for impact and they're going to get blasted.
Hope so. Okay. Port weapons battery.
Did not hit.
Starboard weapons battery.
Hits.
And bombardment cannon.
Hits. So 2 of the escorts go up in flames.
Strength 3, but you're a closing escort?
A beam escort.
Here? No, that's a closing.
No, you're closing me. I'm a beam of you.
Oh, okay. A beam escort? Oh, it's only 1.
Okay, and then the shadow field, but you're within 15, so it cancels each other out.
So the other one, strength 4, and you're a beam escort.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 1 dice as well.
Okay, so the one from the Painbringers will try and brace for impact once again, and successfully braces for impact with damage in the wind. The other squadron will not brace for impact.
Okay, so this one first.
Mm-hmm. With the bombardment cannon. And it missed.
Lock on, get to reroll.
But lock on, yeah. He hits on 4s with bombardment cannons, because they're like lances in that sense. He gets a 4+ bracing for impact save, and he is okay. But you do get a blast marker, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Blam!
Okay, and here?
And against the 1 escort, 4+ as well.
But locked on?
Locked on. Doesn't do anything to that escort squadron.
Okay.
Now we're moving on to the ordnance phase.
Yep. So we'll do this?
Yep.
I have 1.
I have 1, you have 1.
I'm good.
They're both okay. And then, of course, this one will kill you there.
Yeah, but I still get my...
You only get it once per phase. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't, like, use it multiple times.
Fair enough.
Okay, and then, of course, this guy here is going to disengage.
Flies away.
Okay.
Okay. And so at the end of the phase, we have D6 blast markers.
Right.
3. So 1, 2.
Just the 2 that are not in base to base with stuff.
2. And I have nothing to repair.
Okay, fantastic. We're moving on to Dark Eldar, turn 5. Eldar fleet will attempt to reload ordnance with the capital ship. And it does successfully reload its fighter bays. These will attempt to come... Well, these will automatically pass their
Come to new heading.
Come to new heading special rule, which allows them to move twice, or turn twice. Sorry, I have to move this guy first. So he's moving up. 15. He moves to a blast marker, so he rolls to see if he gets damaged. Nope. And then he's going to turn up to 90. And move another 15. Actually, no. Okay. Okay. Then these guys are going to come to new heading. So they are going to spin. No. So this guy has to see if he gets damaged by going through the blast marker.
That produces another blast marker.
That does produce another blast marker. Kabloom!
Yes!
And 1, 2. Yeah, he's gonna have to roll to see who he dies to. No, does he die as well? No. Okay, good. They don't completely die a horrible, hideous death. So they're gonna do this within 15. So they're gonna do this. So spin, spin, and then spin to keep you within behind there. Keep you within the arc there. Okay. That makes sense? Yes, it does. In the shooting phase, the main cruiser will launch 4 assault boats. And then the shooting will have these 2 shooting a firepower of 2 against Mr. Capital Ship over here.
And I am a beam?
No, you're closing. Always.
1 dice.
1 shot. So they're shooting just there.
I will not brace for impact.
You will not brace to get with the Capital Ship?
I will not brace.
So the batteries do not hit. And the 2 pulse lasers
I probably should have braced.
will do 2 hits, which will do 1 for the shield.
Oh no.
Bloop. And we'll take the last point off that ship, which will then do a critical catastrophic damage.
12. Roll a 12.
10.
Half starting damage. Plasma drive overload. Move the ship from play. Each ship within 3d6 centimeters is hit by the explosion with lance shots equal to half the ship's starting number of hits. Roll to hit as normal.
Okay. So each ship will get hit
God.
within 3d6 centimeters. It's going to go into blam!
13 centimeters.
So it just misses my capital ship, but it hits everything else. Blam! And
Oh, it misses your capital ship?
yeah, I'm 15 centimeters away. Like, I'm literally 15 centimeters away.
Alright.
Okay.
So it's half of starting damage?
Half, so 3.
3.
So all the ships can brace for impact if they want. Oh shoot, by the way, this ship was doing this. It has to move through the blast marker. And
Doesn't matter, just...
God damn it. Yes! Oh man. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
You're completely fine.
I'm complete. You just killed the capital ship, so I'm okay with that.
Okay, so the shadow fields will keep them relatively safe, hopefully. So, are you going to brace?
I will 100% attempt to brace.
Okay. The Space Marines brace as they see their their pal explode in spectacular fashion. So you have to roll to hit them, you have to roll to hit that one.
Okay.
Oh no, roll to hit them.
So it's 3 per ship?
Yeah, per ship.
Okay, so the first one?
Yeah. On 4s to hit. 3 hits on the first one. Shadow field saves. Oh, it's gonna blow up.
Second one?
Second one, 3 hits. Shadow field saves. Okay, it's okay. It saves. It's
now into my capital ship.
On the capital ship, needing 4s to hit. 3 hits, taking 1 shield down, and Doing 2 points of damage.
Jeez.
Kablam! And how many extra blast markers do we put down?
None.
It says none?
None. Because it just removed.
Okay. So no extra blast markers, eh?
None.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Half. So it's 3. 3 get put down, yeah.
Markers. This is where it starts getting interesting.
Oof.
Blast markers.
So he took 2. 4.
And with a spectacular explosion, the Space Marine strike cruiser dies a horrible, hideous death.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Epic for our first Battlefleet Gothic battle report ever.
Nice.
So now in the shooting phase, nothing else happens. And
Ordnance phase.
in the ordnance phase, the Space Marines are launching a wave of...
I believe you mean the Dark Eldar.
The Dark Eldar, sorry. The Dark Eldar launching a wave of assault boats into the braced strike cruiser.
I have 2 turrets.
2 turrets.
Needing 6s.
Needing 6s to hit the Dark Eldar crush.
1! I destroy one of them.
Blowing 1 out of proportion. So 3...
So I get brace for impacts against these.
Yes, against these. So 3 on 1s, they do nothing, because they do nothing on 1s. So 2 that are 3s on the critical hits table.
So they would be starboard armament destroyed.
Cool.
Or
So 1 starboard
1,
armament
3.
destroyed.
starboard armament. Okay.
So they knock out the starboard armament.
Which is actually the one you wanted to do.
Yes, I did, because you have to spin this way.
Yep.
And then in the end of the turn, I will do another hit and run attack with a teleport attack because the shields are down and he has less hull points than I do. So I can teleport warriors into the ship to do another hit and run attack for a 4, but you are braced.
Yes. Oh, yes.
No. What do they do?
Port side armament damage.
So he's damaged all the weapon batteries, knocking them out, ready to take some slaves. We're moving on to space... the end phase.
So, I need 2 more dice for my repair critical.
1 for each structure point.
Left.
Mm-hmm.
So 6s.
6s to repair.
Nothing.
Doesn't repair any damage. And I get to remove 5 blast markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is awesome.
And we're moving on to the next turn. Space Marine Fleet turn 5. The Hunters will attempt to come to new heading. They fail because the Space Marines are in disarray once their commander's flagship exploded. This game is really fun, by the way. If you're into Battlefleet Gothic, this is crazy.
Okay, so they will go 10 centimeters because they want to. Then they will turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 25 centimeters.
So the Hunters are trying to come back to the main battle.
So they were touching, so they would touch again.
Not necessarily. You could always move them differently if you want to.
I don't want them to.
Yeah. They always get +1 turret with the in base to base too.
That's all right. So this strike cruiser has to move. He doesn't have to move. He's going to move.
Going through blast markers.
So that's
on a 6. He takes a point of damage
for each blast marker. Right?
No, it's just 1. Whether it's 1 or more. No. I'm pretty sure.
So he's gonna go. So he's not crippled yet, so he can still go 20, 25. So he's gonna go 15.
But it has no starboard or port guns, which is really going to hamper his ability to do damage.
My bombardment cannon is.
Oh yeah,
left
well
front,
360, right?
Yeah. Well, left front.
Sorry.
And
180.
so that was 15. So I've got 10 left. 4. He's still under the brace order. Okay.
Shooting phase. Space Marines. He's firing his bombardment cannon against the 1 escort left. I will attempt to brace for impact, and he successfully braces for impact. 1 shot from the bombardment cannon. Hits Does the escort brace in time? It does. Surviving the shot.
That's it.
Okay. And we're moving on to Dark Eldar turn, but in the end phase, the Space Marines attempt to repair the critical damage done to their ship. And they don't.
And then
They're trying frantically to repair the gun batteries.
And then D6 blast markers.
The blast markers removes 5, so the blast markers are gone. Dark Eldar turn 5. Dark Eldar turn 5. This one's braced, so we can't do anything this turn. This brace is no longer there. My capital ship will attempt to reload ordnance once again, and successfully does. Reload ordnance. So then, it's going to do its 90-degree turn and move 20 centimeters up.
Through an asteroid.
Through an asteroid field, which he will attempt to navigate. And he doesn't, taking a point of damage. Kablam! As an asteroid hits him really, really hard. Oh man! Then he's going to move up this way. So, actually, no, we don't want to move up that far. Okay, 20. Wait, how far can the bombers move? I think bombers can move 30.
Yeah.
Slavers... Oh, no, slavers 30. The razor wings are the bombers.
They can move 20.
So the slavers move 30. So 20. Okay. So he's taken a point of damage. Oh, no.
How much hull does he have?
He has 5 left. The escort is going to move into the asteroid field to prevent any further damage. And he fails, but he is an escort, so they do get to re-roll their leadership test. And he passes. And he will turn as well. That's right, sneaky little escorts.
Oh, and then because of the damage, you could have braced for impact.
Oh, that's true. Well, for him, I could have.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But, if that's only if. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I will launch a squadron of bombers.
Uh-oh.
From the capital ship.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And now we're moving on to the shooting phase. He can't shoot out of the asteroid field because he's in the asteroid field, so it blocks line of sight. And his weapons are firing forward, so we just have
the ordnance phase.
The bombers. 4 bombers. Will you brace for impact, sir?
I shall.
Okay.
I will attempt to.
He will attempt to brace for impact.
I do.
If they do, brace for impact. And now the turrets will attempt to fire on the Eldar vessels. None of them get knocked out of the sky. And each does d6 hits minus 2, because that's what your turret value is. So I'm going to do... So 1, 0, 2, so that's 3 and 4. So
3 and 4?
7 so far.
So
Just 7.
7?
No, I do 7.
Oh, yes.
Hits. These bypass the shields. 7, because they are bombers. Mm-hmm. And I need 6s to do damage against the strike cruiser.
Oh.
3 points of damage. But he did brace successfully. Oh! The bombers do some nasty work on the poor ship. Are any of them critical hits? No, they are not.
Ugh.
And they go back to rearm and refuel.
Oh, that hurt.
Crippling the strike cruiser. We're moving on to Space Marine turn 6.
So.
Before turn 6, the strike cruiser will not repair any damage. Space Marine turn 6. The Hunters are now going to come back into the fight as the fast little escorts that they are, trying to bring their torpedoes to bear against the Mist Stalker.
You're going to go 35 centimeters. So they're going to do the whole thing.
So they're moving that full distance to make sure that those torpedoes hit home and try and pierce through the shadow fields of the Dark Eldar fleet.
Keeping them in base to base so they get their salvo.
A salvo.
This strike cruiser will just move. So he is crippled, so we lose 5 centimeters on his speed. So he will go 10 to there. Turn up to 90. And go another 10. Okay. So he's still under the brace. Okay.
Okay.
Shooting
phase.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna attempt to shoot him.
Okay.
So first with the weapons batteries, which are 30. Yep.
So we have
3. It's a beam.
A beam, shadow fielded capital ship.
1.
One shot.
One shot.
Needing a 5+.
Nope.
Does not hit.
Not hit. And then they will launch torpedoes.
Nice.
Okay, going to the ordnance phase. The torpedo can go 30 centimeters, so...
The torpedoes will launch forth and blast into... It is a strength 6 salvo, so you put a 6 here to represent that. I don't have any turrets, so he has to roll 6 dice to hit me on 5 pluses.
Yep.
And I have a 2+ save thanks to my shadow fields against this damage. But anything that gets through will indeed hit me, and I chose not to brace for impact.
Okay, 6 dice. Come on, 5.
1 hit from the torpedo salvo, and it hits the shadow field, which means that the torpedoes continue to move.
That's 20, so it goes another 10 centimeters.
And the salvo strength is reduced to 5. This is quite useful if there's a lot of ships in a line. You can just shoot and hit every single ship as the torpedo salvo keeps on going down until the torpedo salvo runs out or gets blown out of the sky by turrets. So now we're moving on to the Dark Eldar turn. And the Space Marine ship will attempt to repair some critical damage once again. And it does. The capital ship will attempt to reload ordnance. And it successfully reloads ordnance.
Damn it. Darn it, sorry. Darn it. Swearing is very bad.
And it will move.
Wow.
To bring its guns to bear. Just want to be within 15 here, actually. No need to get all gung-ho here. The escort will attempt to navigate the asteroid field successfully, and doesn't, but it is an escort, so it gets its reroll. It is okay. And it will move and then spin 90 degrees. Okay.
Oh.
Shooting phase.
I'm just going to say this now. I'm going to brace for impact.
Okay. Okay, so we'll roll for the brace for impact, but in a second. I'm going to launch Slave Bringers. Actually, what's the armor on these guys?
5s.
5s. We have 2 torpedoes. I'm gonna launch assault boats. Okay. I'm gonna launch assault boats. Okay. From the carrier. The deadly mist. I like it.
And then we have 2 dice, so I can roll for my brace for impact.
So first we'll start with the shots from this capital ship over here.
Brace for impact.
They brace successfully. So I have 12 shots at a closing capital ship, thanks to the Dark Eldar rules.
8.
4, 5, 6.
Or
7,
sorry,
8. Within
15. 11.
11.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't even have enough dice for this. 11. Needing 6s to hit.
Thank god I braced for impact.
They do 1 hit and knock the shields down.
Oh yeah, that's right, I can't brace against
That's it. Blam! No more shields for the strike cruiser, which allows the escort to come with its just 2 strength closing capital ship within 15.
Closing capital. It's 1.
Within 15. Two. So 2 shots from the escort. 1 hit.
Took my dice.
Braced for impact. It gets through! And it knocks it clean from the sky.
Alright.
And what happens to the cruiser?
Roll high.
5. It's a drifting Hulk.
Extra blast marker, it's a drifting Hulk.
Okay, so it knocks off the blast marker. Drifting Hulk. Which means its lance battery can now fire at the escorts.
They will...
They have shields, right?
Yes.
Okay, then there's no need to brace against it. So, needing a 4 to hit the escorts. No, with its lance. Okay. And last but not least, the ordnance phase. I'm going to launch 2... Oh, shoot, sorry. I'm going to launch 2 against the closest hunter. So you get 2
dice.
2 of them.
Alright. So, first one. So I need 6s?
Mm-hmm. Nope. So we just read in the FAQ that they roll. I need 4 pluses to destroy it with the critical hit. And I get 1 4 plus. So 1 of the escorts is destroyed as the occupants are overwhelmed with guys that go in and rip the crew apart. And 2 more against that escort. They both get through as well. And needing 4 pluses to do damage, they both do, so 1 more escort goes down. Leaving the one lonely escort surrounded by Dark Eldar fleet. We're moving on to Space Marine turn. Okay, Strike Cruiser Floating Hulk moves up and drifts away, while the last remaining hunter will move off the table and disengage from the fleet engagement. And now we calculate points for everything that happened, and the Space Marines have been forced to disengage, leaving the planet ripe for the taking. We'll be back with an after-action report. And at the end of the game, the Dark Eldar, thanks to slave taking and capturing the enemy Hulk that was drifting in space, they basically went in there and took all that was left and dragged it back to the port city of the Dark City. Gained 640 points in victory points. The Space Marines left with only 200 victory points, making it a major victory for the Dark Eldar fleet on its first Battlefleet Gothic appearance. So, Evan, your thoughts on our first Battlefleet Gothic game?
Dark Eldar are sneaky. They're cowards because they stay in the asteroid field. It's great. This will be a fun kind of narrative to do, I think.
It was a lot of fun, and there's so much flavor. We set up the terrain randomly with the generator in the book. Of course, if you like what you see, you can subscribe by clicking this link right here. I'm on a quest to hit 8,000 subscribers by the end of 2015, so if you want, check it out. Link up to the channel. Really appreciate it. All the rules for the Battlefleet Gothic rules are on a forum, downloadable. So the link will be down below, and if you want to check it out, read the rules, and let me know what you think. This is a brand new venture for the channel, so I'd really appreciate your support and comments down below. And thanks a lot for watching. This is Skara, your grateful host, and in the future we shall bring more of the exploits of the Dark Eldar in space.
When they're dead.
When they're dead. Skari out.